Sagt die Gemara, Rabbi say Tana Rabbanan, Shimon Apikoili. The Tana, Shimon Apikoili, he's the Yudchas Brachos. He arranged the 18 Brachos, the Rabbi Gamliel, Ala Seder, B'Yavna. All the Gamliel, the Chachamim, okay, that's 18 now. Klum yesh adam shadiyah the takin b'yuchas hatzidukim. Tzidukim. We want to add a bracha. We want to make the 19th bracha. Right? We know it. It's lamashinim. So we'll see who can put this bracha together. Who can institute this? So Amad Shmuel Hakatan v'tikna. So Shmuel Hakatan came up and he says, I know exactly how to do this bracha. And he said, lamashinim. Mashana acheres. Following year, I don't know what happened over the year. I don't know where it was for the whole year, but okay, it was okay. He shachacha. He forgot it. V'hishkif b'shtayim v'shloish shoyos, and he tried to remember. Sorry, v'shloish shoyos v'lo helu. Now he's saying, in other words, he went up again to try to say to be the Baal Tefillah. And he can't remember, he's skipping Lamashinim. So 1 second, you're skipping Lamashinim? Get him out of there. Throw him out. Amay lo helu. Does it not say, don't we have a rule? So now if a person just makes a mistake, it's not a reason for him to be fired as a tzlich tzibur. But if he makes a mistake with Birkas and Tzdukim, so what? You're Tzduki? Maybe he's an Apikoris. We can't let a Apikoris be the Baal Tefillah. Chashidim Shem Minhu. We're afraid he's a min. He doesn't believe in Hashem. Doesn't believe in Torah. Doesn't believe in Torah. Doesn't believe in Chachamim. So, more answers, true. He himself is the person who invented this bracha. You think he's a min? It's very unlikely. So, effective Gemara, what do you mean? It's true, last year he was okay, he made it up, but you never know what a person's thinking now. It could be change his mind. Give me a tov. No, it can't be. What's good does not become bad. In fact, is that so? Ubeshuv tzadik mitzid kasa. You also ovel. Doesn't that the pasuk say? The Navi say that the shuv tzadik, a tzadik can return, can go back on being a tzadik and do bad. So come on, no, that's not a raya. Ahu rasha mikarei. A person, if he was a rasha originally, he became a tzadik, and now he be that could be. Well, tzaddik mikora, that's unlikely. It doesn't happen. A tzaddik that was a tzaddik and now he goes to be a rasha, doesn't happen. In fact, is that so? V'loi v'atzanan al tamin ba'atzmecha ad yom moischa. Chazal say that you should not trust yourself ad yom moischa. Sharei yoichan kohen gadol shimesh b'kuna gedayla shmoinim shana. It was not the kohen gadol just for a year or two. Shmoinim shana. Lipsaif nasa tzduki. Became a tzduki. Omar Abaye. No. Again, the same story. Yeah, you know why? Huyana Yochanan. Because he was originally Yanai. So therefore, again, it goes back to what we said before, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. He's a Russian Mikara. The Gemara says, that's Rabbi Pshat. Rav Amar no Yani Yechud 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 Yani Russian Mikara Yechud Tzadi Mikara. And our Yochanan disagrees historically. No, that was not the same person. So now 1 second. So let's figure out a sugya. That means Rava, we don't have a pshat. We see a raya from Yechon Kohen Gadol l'chayra. You could be a big tzaddik and for many years and lose it. So how do we explain that? So Rava says tzaddik b'kar nami dilma. It could be. So then according to that, they should have removed Shmuel from being the Baal Tefillah. Possibly he's a min. So sagt die Gemara, Shani Shmuel Katan to Itchil Ba. Because it wasn't that we're missing a technical part of the story here. It wasn't that he completely ignored Lav Shinim. He started to say it. He started to say Shinim, and then he couldn't remember the continuation of that part of the Tefillah. So once we see that he was Ischel Ba, the Amar Yehuda Rav, Itei Rav Mishum Levi, Lo Shalom Tle Hitzchel Ba. Hitzchel Ba, Goimra. Once he's Hitzchel Ba, so then he's Goimra. Once we see other indications that he's not a min, we don't have to actually remove him if he can't remember. So we spoke about last week. We spoke about on the last Amud that the brachos of Shemona Esrei are keneged. We said keneged the shemas of Intilim or Shema or the Chulios. Now, what about Hani Sheva the Shabsa? On Shabbos, we only make 7 brachos in Shemona Esrei. What are those? Keneged mi. Amar Rab Chalafta ben Shmuel keneged Shiva Koilos. She'amar David alamayim. It says 7 times. Koil. So David says, this was Paulo, but alamayim to bring water, to remove the water, so they can start dig the Beis Hamikdash. That was the 7 koilos. Hanitisha, the Rosh Hashanah keneged. What about Rosh Hashanah? We have 9 brachos in Shemona Esrei. Keneged mi. I'm using them in Katrigin, Keneged Teisha Askara Sha'amu Chana B'Tfilasoi. These are the 9 Askaras, the Shem Hashem, in the Tefillah of Chana. The Ramar Rosh Hashanah Nifkete. Now, we'll see why that's connected now to Rosh Hashanah Dafka, because on Rosh Hashanah Nifkete saw Rachel v'Chana. Chana was one of the famous people that although she was unable to have children for many years, she was nifkata. She received the possibility, and she became pregnant on Rosh Hashanah. Hani es. I think she. Didn't mean she. Yeah. I think it means she. That's right. Yeah. So Hani Yesivos Ahron the Tanisa Keneged. Or what about the 24 brachos in Tainus? Amar B'Chal Keneged Chov V'Dal the Renanos. The 24 expressions of Renanos, of praises, Shom Shloimeh V'Shosh Yichlis Ahron the Beis Kodshi HaKodshim. Yechi Kol Yomi Nami Nemrino. So why don't we say that every day? Ema Amrinu Shloimeh V'Yomi Derachmeh. So Shloimeh said it. Amos Amrinu Shloimeh. When did Shlomo say it? On a special day of mercy. It was a special day. They put the Ahron to the Beis Hamikdash. So this is this kayach of 24. We save it for a special day when we need rachmanis to be the rachme amila on a day of tightness. Now it says in the Mishnah. Rav Gamliel says that you have to say every day 18 brachos. Yeshua says you don't have to say 18. You should say me'ein 18 brachos, not quite the 18 brachos. So you can say shorter version. We should say a shorter version. We'll see now exactly what that is. So what does that mean? Rav Amar me'ein kol bracha bracha. Rav says you say each bracha, but it's me'ein. You can shorten it a little bit. You don't have to, as long as you hit the main topic. You don't need every word. But you do say each bracha batzim. As you say, shorter every time. It's a little bit shorter. Every bracha of Shemona Esrei is a drop shorter. Shmuel Amar Havinenu. Shmuel says you say the following shortened version. This is a bridged version of the entire Shemona Esrei. As you say the first 3 brachas, that you say. When you get to Atachonin Das, so now we have a special version which includes all brachas. We say as follows, and you'll see each part. I'm going to read it quickly, but each part is included. Havinenu Hashem Elokeinu l'das v'checha u'moyus levavenu li'yiroscha v'tislach lanu li'yos geulim v'yichatnu michavenu dashnenu b'nois artzecha u'v'tutzeinu mi'arba תקבץ, והתוים על דייתך ישפטו, על שויים תונף ידיך, וישמחו צדיקים, בבניין עירך, בתיקון היכליך, צמיחס, קרן לדוד עבדך, בריחס נר, ישב ישכך, תרם יקרא אתה, תענה ברוך אתה Hashem שומע תפילה. So we included all the brachos are included in just a word or two. So we said that's the short version. Now, la yidalav Abaye man dematzi avinenu. Abaye said this is not proper. You should say the whole Shemona Esrei. And he cursed. Abaye said you should say Shemona Esrei. You could do what the Tana is saying, and be sure you could do me'ain, but not just skip brachas. He's light on that. Aman dematzi avinenu. Amar Rav Nachman Mashmul kol asher kulam mispalam avinenu. Now, I agree. I do say like Rav. You say avinenu. Not like Rav. Like Shmuel. You say avinenu. But I guess he's quoting Shmuel. Shmuel said this also. Kosher used to do something with avinenu. Chutz b'motzei Shabbos. If Motzei have a problem, why? Motzei Tov, why? They should tzarech loim havdalah b'choyin das. Since you have to add havdalah, you have to add tatchan tono, and you're not saying choyin das, you're not saying the bracha. So you're stuck. How do you add? You can't add. You got a problem. That was his shita. Now, masking for Rabbi Shmuel, the name of bracha revius, the atzma. Well, I have another answer for you. Fine. So you have to say the first three brachas, and you got to say avinenu. So you know what? Do the first two brachas, and then say a fourth bracha. You make a fourth bracha for the Avdallah, and then you continue on with avinenu. Now, where did I ever hear of such an idea? I'll tell you. Milo Tanan, Rabbi Kiva Omre, Oimer Bracha Revius. That's Rabbi Kiva says all the time. Rabbi Kiva always held like that. That Motzei Shabbos, the way you say Havdalah is by adding the fourth bracha. B'fnei atzma. Rabbi Lezer Oimer Boidah. And Rabbi Lezer says, you put it, you say the Havdalah in the Hoidah by Moidi. So that was the question. So what's the big deal? Why should that be a reason? And therefore, why are we being held back from not saying Havinenu if you hold, you say Havinenu? So the Gemara answers now the question. The Gemara says, Otu kol asher kula mi avdin kebikiva. If we say the Yudches Brachos, we hold, we're going on the tzad, you don't really say the Yudches Brachos. If we do say them, so when we do say them during the year, if we would at that time, mi avdin kebikiva. Would we do it like Rabbi Akiva? Do we say at Motzei Shabbos an extra bracha? No, we stick it into Hatuch and Das. Hashanami navid kol shana kuloi. Hashanami navid. So the verse says, well, it's not a raya. Kol shana kuloi. My time in Rabbi Akiva tam nisay tikun Chatzer tikun. The problem is you can't just add brachas. There's 18. You can't. We disagree with Akiva's Shita to add another bracha. Haranami, sorry. Haranami, Shevet Tikun. Yeah, I'm sorry, this is all part of the answer. So therefore, that's the answer. That's why Shmuel said it's a problem to say Avinenu on Motzei Shabbos. You're going to be stuck without a way to say Havdalah. So why can't you just add it to Avinenu like you added everything else? So I had this also. Just say Avinenu Hashem Elokeinu. Hamavda ben Kodesh L'Choel. So that'll solve the problem. Kasha, that's a good ha'ara. That's a shayla. Why was he so worried about that? Amar Bibi, Rabbi Kosher L'Kodesh L'Choel Avinenu. Chutz B'Yitzuk Shomim. Another problem. You can't use Avinenu in the winter. Because you have to say it to Saint Talmud to the Vracha. So where is that going in Avinenu? Maske Mazuta, Nichla Michalal, the Shnei B'Nois, the Shatzecha, and add right over there. Stick it in right there. Say Talmud. So more answers, I hear, but you have a problem. Asi the Trudy. It's confusing Just it's confusing to have to add that havinenu. You're gonna get you're adding a whole other piece of the bracha. You could lose your train of thought. So then your question before about Avdallah also. There we held that was a good time that you should add it because it's at the beginning. It shouldn't be so confusing. You say it right away. But I give another option. Say it at the end. That shouldn't be confusing. Put it by Shemei Tefillah. Now, if a person misses Mashiva Ruach Min, so then you have to go back. Whereas the same Talmud Yivrocha She'ela B'Birkas Hashanim ain't Machzir, so you don't go back. Why don't you go back? You missed part of davening. Teretz is because you can say it in Shemei Tefillah. Similarly, V'Avdallah, if you missed Avdallah b'Choyin Das, ein Machzir, so Yishachaloim Alakois. So you see that you could put it in Shemei Tefillah. So why do we do that over here? So the answer is Torah shiny. When it's true, it's allotted when you make a mistake, but we can't allow you to do that normally, and therefore you're stuck with a problem. What do you do with the Saint Talmud Tivrocha? And therefore, don't say Avinenu in the winter. We're going to now go discuss Sheila and the dinim of Sheila and Askara. Toya v'lehiska gvul shamim. If you do not mention Mashiva Ruach Moed Gosham, B'tchias HaMeisim, as we do, as you're part of it, right? So then Machzir L'Isam, you missed part of davening. You have to go back. What if you forgot the same Talmud Torah? She'ela. Birkas Hashanim. There, ain't Machzir L'Isam. Why not? Because there you have an option, and basically the explanation is, since it's a Pakasha, same Talmud Torah, and you're allowed to ask Pakashas in Shemei Tefillah, you can add that Pakasha in Shemei Tefillah. So since I have a backup option where I can say it, I don't have to go back. I can wait till I get down to Shemei Tefillah and say it there. If I miss it there, I'm going to have to go back. And similarly, Avdallah, B'Choyin Das, Ein Machzir. You also, on Motzei Shabbos also, because you can say it on Avdallah, on the Kais. So it's not necessary to repeat. So She'ela b'Birkas Hashanim Machzir. So here it says no. Here it says if you miss the same Talmud Livrocha, then you have to go back. So it's a stira. Do you go back to Saint Talmud Livrocha or not? Lokasha. Someone says Habi Yach B'Tzibur. Someone says maybe it depends. That if it's a tzibur, you'll hear it again. You'll hear the tzibur say it again. So the Gemara analyzes it. My timer, loy, mishum the shalom shliach tzibur, because they're going to hear it from the shliach tzibur. I would say, if that's true, Yachi, the shliach lo'im b'shemei tefillah. So why did you give the reason? That is because I can say it in shemei tefillah before. It doesn't say that. So it's really, no. It's really the bottom line is because you're going to say it in Shemei Tefillah. So if you remembered before Shemei Tefillah, you don't go back because you'll get in Shemei Tefillah. But if you remembered after Shemei Tefillah, you were too late. You can't go back. You have to go back. What if you missed Yalavi Yavoy? Choyzer Lavoida, go back to where you were. So Lavoida, go back to it. Say Niska Bohida, Choyzer Lavoida. Also, we also go back. But B'Sim Shalom, Choyzer Lavoida. Also, if you're ready, even it doesn't matter if you're in Shmona Esrei, and even if you're ready up to Sim Shalom, go back to Avoida. In Siyam. Now, if you completed Shmona Esrei, so since you finished, you have to go back. Then you missed it. You got to go back. Praise the Rosh. You have to start again. It was all korban. You're in the middle of Shemona Esrei and you miss something. You could just back up to where you were. Once you're already out of Shemona Esrei. We said to go back now. It's only when you finish Shemona Esrei. So we're going to qualify that. Is lo amrim ela she'oker raglov. That's when you can really finish Shemona Esrei. You took your 3 steps back. Avol lo yaker raglov. As long as you're still standing, even you might have finished all the words, but you're still standing Shemona Esrei, so you can go back. You're still called standing in front of Hashem, and you just go back into the part of Shemona Esrei. Choiz Lavoid, and continue from there. Amalei minalach ha. Amalei mi Abba Mari Shmili. I heard it from Abba Mari. Abba Mari mirav. That's the I'm the surah on this halacha. Amar Nachman Yitzchak Hada Amran Oker Raglav Chos the Roish Lo Amran. That's what he said, that when you're Oker Raglav you have to go back. Lo Amran She'enu Raglav Lo Mitachnun Ach Tefilasa. There's another condition that still will define you as saying Shemona Esrei. If you're not finished davening, because you might have said all the basic words of davening, but if you're Raglav Lo Mitachnunim like Elokai Netzor and whatever we say at the end, and you're Raglav to say something, so then you're still considered in the middle of Shemona Esrei. Now here, according to this lashon, apparently, even if you took 3 steps back, but you're still davening, so then you go back. You still go back to where you left off, and you go back and say the Yalav Yavo. That which it says. Now this is different. Now we're changing it. We're saying a different version. We said if you didn't take 3 steps, if you didn't, as long as you're still in Shemona Esrei, you didn't take your steps back. That's not necessarily true. That means here we're saying in this lashon you need both conditions. You're also saying tachanun. You also didn't take 3 steps back. But once you're confident saying everything you said, even if you didn't yet take the 3 steps, you're still finished with Shemona Esrei and you can't go back. You have to start from the beginning to miss what you made up. If somebody makes his tefillah keva, it's like standard. He makes it kavua. My keva. What does that mean? I'm sure. He defines that means it's like a burden. I just go and say it. I don't say it with feeling. It's just a burden. You don't say it in lashon tachnunin. I don't know if that means. I think it means in the way you say it. You say it with the tone. I think that's what it means. A second. Yep. He says no. Not only that, if you can't add something new, some request, something, you're not really living your tefillah. Tefillah means you're asking Hashem for what you need. So if you can't add bakoshes, if you just say the same exact bakoshes every day, so then it's not called tachanunim. And tefillah is supposed to be tachanunim. I can add something. Mistafina dilma matrina, but I'm afraid if I start adding things, I'm going to lose my thought. I'm going to get confused. So I don't want to do it. He says if you're not mispalel at the right time, that's kva. You're making your tefillah just habits. And if you really were serious, you would daven at the best time possible. The best time is always right at sunrise, whether to daven maybe mincha at the end of the day. It's a mitzvah to daven dimdumei chama when the sun is setting or the sun is rising. I'm saying, Mikra, Yeruchim Shemesh. You should daven vasikin. The Yerach Yerdorim. Light Allah b'marava man dematzli im dimdumei chama. Abaye would actually curse someone. You shouldn't daven so then. Now that l'choira he means by mincha when the sun is setting. My time of doing mitrafila shaita. What are you waiting till last minute? You're going to miss davening. Rashi says, Amishi Misha Tfilas a mincha. He's talking about mincha dafka. So you shouldn't wait till the last minute. So let's do a little bit further. We'll finish also today's Amud. It says in the Mishnah, there's another situation where it's time to daven, and you're walking in a dangerous place. So here you don't say you mispalo only at tefillah ktsara. There's only time you only say tefillah ktsara. Sorry, what does it say in the Mishnah? The Mishnah says, Rabbi Yeshua Omer Hoylech b'makom sakana mispalo ktsara tefillah ktsara. For Omar, and you say the following tefillah: Hashea Hashem es amecha es she'eres Yisrael b'chol parshas ha'ibur. Hashem should save the Jewish people. B'chol parshas ha'ibur yitzrechechem lefanecha brachat Hashem tefillah. So what does that mean? What do those words mean? What's this called parshas ha'ibur? So the Gemara explains. It's a lashon Omar Ukva afilu b'shah shata b'smali aleim evra. When you're full of you're angry, isha ubra yitzrachem lefanecha. Even it's a bad time. When they're over, also, if you're going in a place where there's danger, there's wild animals, say tefillah ksara. What is tefillah ksara? Is a Relezer asay v'tzayncha b'shamayim imal. Do yiratzah b'shamayim v'tein nachas ruach l'riyecha tachas v'toy b'einecha asay, and do what's right. Do what's good. Brachos Hashem shemet tefillah. Shua Omer Shema Shavas Amcha Yisrael V'asa Mehir B'Kashta Brachos Hashem shemet tefillah. V'asa B'Tzadik Omer Shema Tzakas Amcha B'Yisrael V'asa Mehir B'Kashta Brachos Hashem shemet tefillah. Chayro Im Tzorchei Amcha Merubein V'daitem Tzayiro Tzom V'Nech Hashem L'ken Shetitin Kol Echad V'Echad K'nei Barsos L'Gvia Gvia. To everybody give Dei Mechsara. Brachos Hashem shemet tefillah. And Omer Avuna, that's what we do. That correct tefillah is the halacha is kacherim. Okay.